Ted Cruz responding to all of this open borders chaos. He has a new bill. It would establish a new port of entry in Democratic-led communities like North Hero, Vermont, where Bernie Sanders spends his summers in one of his multiple houses, or Martha's Vineyard, where Democratic elites host their cocktail parties, where Barack Obama had, remember that big massless birthday party. Here to explain more, Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Senator, welcome back. The fact that they're doing it at 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. in the morning pretty much proves what we've always known, that they're not. You get special preferential treatment if you don't respect our laws, our borders and sovereignty, no COVID tests, no vaccine mandate, and you get free transportation to whatever state they're going to send you to in the dark of night. Now, to me, that's law breaking. To you, what's the solution?
Well, look, you're exactly right. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have a political problem, and their political problem is their policies on the border have produced an absolute catastrophe, absolute chaos. 2 million people expected to cross illegally this year, and you've got children being physically assaulted, sexually assaulted. You have women being raped. You have COVID positivity rates at the Biden cages in South Texas. The COVID positivity rates, when I was last down there 3-4 weeks ago, were 24%. And they have no solution because they've made a promise to the radical open borders left that they won't enforce the law. So their only answer is hide it. And so there's a reason why you're seeing flights at 2:30 in the morning, at 4 o'clock in the morning, because they want to hide it, and they're counting on the corrupt corporate media to be complicit in covering it up. And it's why I introduced the bill you just referenced. It's called the Stop the Surge Act, and it's very simple. All it does is it creates 13 new ports of entry. So right now, those 2 million illegal aliens, most of them are coming to the state of Texas, my home state. I said, well, look, if it's okay, if you're fine with 2 million illegal immigrants, let's send them to where you like to hang out. And so the 13 ports of entry that my bill creates are Block Island, Rhode Island, Greenwich, Connecticut, Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts, Cambridge, Massachusetts, Governor's Island, New York, Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, where Joe Biden likes to relax, Nantucket, Massachusetts, Newport, Rhode Island, Scarsdale, New York, Palo Alto, California, Yountville, California, which is, of course, where the French Laundry is, where Gavin Newsom likes to party it up when he forces other people to shut down, St. Helena, California, and as you mentioned, North Hero, Vermont, where Bernie Sanders has one of his vacation homes. And you know, Sean, you live in the craziness that is Manhattan. How exactly do you think the rich, stuck-up liberals in Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard would react if they saw 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 illegal aliens being dropped off week after week after week in the vineyard? You think Obama would welcome them into his party? Do you think they'd be thrilled with it?
Well, first of all, I don't live in New York City. I live outside of the city, and I try to hide as often as I can. That's point number one. Point number two, I mean, no, they don't want this in their backyard. And you're right. You know, why does your state of Texas now have to have your governor, Abbott, and I really sympathize with him because he's now up against a federal government that's aiding and abetting lawbreaking. Now he's going to take $3 billion of Texas taxpayer dollars to now try and build the wall and protect the people, the borders of Texas. But that's not his job. And then when people get into the country illegally, he doesn't have the authority to throw them out. He's trying to. He's going to court. He's called up the National Guard. Is there anything that he's missing? Because I don't see it.
Look, the fundamental problem is under our immigration law, it's the federal government that has the power to deport. And we've seen presidents that do a lousy job of that. Barack Obama did a lousy job of it. What we've never seen is a president like Joe Biden that just absolutely refuses to do it, just defies federal law whole scale. And you know, let's take a community like Del Rio. We've been talking about Del Rio a lot lately. I was at Del Rio just a couple of weeks ago. Del Rio is a small town. The population of Del Rio is about 35,000. In one day, there were over 15,000 illegal immigrants, mostly from Haiti, one day under the bridge there in Del Rio. That's nearly half the population of the city. And I got to say, in response to my bill today, it's been fun seeing Democrats pull their hair out and explain why it's a terrible bill. You know, the governor of Rhode Island said, well, I can't say anything nice about this bill at all. All I can do is insult it. And I got to say, I responded to the governor. And I said, well, gosh, it seems to me you can only say one of two things. You can either say, sure, we'd love to see 2 million illegal immigrants in Newport, Rhode Island, number one. Or number two, you could say, if that's a bad thing, gosh, maybe Joe Biden and Kamala Harris shouldn't be inflicting this massive surge on Texas and the rest of the country. You can't have it both ways. Either it's a good thing or bad thing, and these liberals are hypocrites that want to see illegal aliens in your communities, but not their privileged enclaves.
I agree with your bill. I fully support it. Anyway, I wish I had the vote to support it. Thank you, Senator.